Feisty by Vendetta just dropped a few days ago.
Feisty, so tempting. Why so feisty?
And I'm going to take you through how I stem mastered it. Make sure you stick around to the end. I'll do a before and after. So when tracks are already in a good spot like this one was, I like to start from the master bus and then kind of work my way backwards. I find this is the least invasive way to go about mastering, where we're starting out with more global moves and then only going into the individual stems if we need to. And in my experience, this just helps preserve more of the artist's original intent with the track. First up is the Pro C2 doing a little bit of mid-side compression. This is a Luca Predalesi technique that helps separate the mid and side signal with these two dials. That allows us to compress the mid and the side information differently. And this helps bring the mid information a little more out front of the mix, but at the same time keeping the sides, which is like your reverbs and your atmospheres and stuff like that, kind of untouched and more dynamic. So I'll start with it off.
Tempting. Why so feisty? Lights out.
Next up is standard clip, doing some hard clipping. It's really not doing a lot in this case, just catching some peaks here and there. Right, most of the time it's not even doing anything. If it was doing a lot of transient control, I might put it before the compressor. That way we have some, peak control going into our compressor, meaning the compressor wouldn't be engaging quite as much. It can just help smooth out your compression a tiny bit. But in this case, because it's not doing a whole lot, it was fine to put afterwards. Next up is the FABFILTER Pro MB, which is a multi-band compressor. And I just have it controlling some of the low end here. And I'll just pull up the visualizer here for a second. The main reason I wanted to have a tiny bit of control with this Pro MB is on specific kick hits. So because this style of track doesn't have a crazy side chain and crazy pumping, it just like didn't fit the vibe of the song. That means that we're going to have some kick and bass hits that are overlapping a little bit. Because we made sure the kick and the bass are in phase, meaning the waveforms of the kick and the bass are going up and down at the same time. When they hit at the same time, we're going to get a little bit of an increase in volume. I'm looking at like this part. When that tail of the kick hits and the bass starts to come in, when those waveforms add together, we just don't want a crazy jump in volume. We want it to be nice and controlled. So that's what this Pro MB is doing. Next up is the Ozone Maximizer. I have it on this balance setting, doing about 2 to 3, maybe a little bit over 3 decibels of gain reduction in the loudest parts. So I'll play you the before and after. Just keep in mind that before is gained up like 10 decibels, so it might sound a little distorted. Here we go.
Why so feisty? Feisty. So tempting. Why so feisty?
If you haven't had the chance yet, definitely check out the finished track on Spotify. I tag Vendetta in the description of the video. I'm a big fan of the track. It was a ton of fun to work on, so shout out to Vendetta for bringing me in on the mastering side. If you want me to go into more detail about the individual stems and maybe some of the processing that went into that, let me know and I can do it in another video. Hope this helps.